Can you guys hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you. I totally forgot to hit the go live button.
Ah,
So I did all that for nothing. So, hi.
run it again. I
Let's
guess there you go.
let's try this all over again. Which was good because Ryan got frozen on his end. So
Yes,
it looks like OBS. Oh, hey, you're back. Welcome.
I'm back. Sorry.
So Frank has had a family emergency called teething.
Yes,
Well, not obviously Frank. He's well
Frank is not
past. I think.
teething.
I
Yeah.
think Frank is well past that point.
Yes.
But yes, the little one is teething, and he said he wanted to be there for the little one. I
Yes. So
really
we gave
did
him the weekend
remember.
off.
I really did not remember to click the go live button. Yeah. Yep. I've been sitting here talking to no one apparently.
This is why I shouldn't put you in charge.
So, welcome to Trina's Old World Tech Friday. I finally got to stick my name on it. With my co-host, Ryan, who's
Oh, thank
that
you.
way. Yeah.
Second billing.
You get second billing.
Story of my life.
Yeah, I totally forgot to go live. All right, so let's try this again. Let's say hi to those in the chat. We have RetroMac UK, who I will thank once again for the birthday stream this past Wednesday. We have JC, Frank S, Sleepy Malibu, Tom Armstrong, K-Mac Vintage, Will. Hey, Will.
You will.
We have my twin, Tech Ambrosia. Long story on that, but well, Sloopy's leash holder thought Tech Ambrosia and I were one in the same.
Interesting.
So we have the famous Retro Techie. We have a Retro Tech Chris. I don't think I'm
I
missing.
believe the word you're using is infamous. Not
infamous,
famous.
yeah, infamous,
Yeah.
infamous, famous. We also have a gut bomb who is laughing at me for forgetting to go live. We have Curtis Boyle. Curtis, we promise not to be 8 hours tonight. Just tonight. And yeah, that's it. So hello everyone. Welcome. It's been a weird week.
It has been the previous week, 3 weeks ago was a week of Mondays. 2 weeks ago was a week of Tuesdays. This was definitely a week of Wednesdays.
I had issues sleeping all week. I finally caught up on it. Dozed off around 7:30, didn't wake up till 5:45 this morning. So,
okay.
Except for at one point, Missy Pooh here decided I'm gonna start getting the zoomies and was running all over the place. So.
Well, as Trina has seen, my cat got shaved today. So
yes. You shaved your pussy cat.
Correct. Pussy cat. Yes. Jazzy has been completely deferred and is living his best life.
And did not look too happy in that photo.
He was more upset that we took him to get groomed, more so than
they're getting
groomed? actually being groomed. Yeah, he's a creature of habit. He doesn't like being out of his element. We'll say.
Right. Well, we're gonna let's start with this week in tech history. This week supplied by
Copilot from Microsoft.
There we go.
our usual website we use to get our This Week in Tech History must have took the week off because they haven't updated the site since last week. So
yeah, and I hope
all is well with them. And I thought it was some issue.
I thought it was a glitch with my browser. I cleared my history, closed the browser, reopened it, and I'm like, no, it's still showing me.
So I did the right thing, and I went into Copilot, which is now available to schools, thank God. And I asked Copilot to render me a list, and then I sent it to Trina. So,
and that's an AI bot type thing.
Copilot is so ChatGPT is officially sponsored by Microsoft. Microsoft is the largest benefactor of ChatGPT. They gave them well over $1 billion last year. So the whole purpose is that Microsoft gets the first kick at the commercial cat, we'll say. So they get the first kick at ChatGPT. So their Copilot is basically the new version 4.5 of ChatGPT. So it's slightly better than what you can get on the website. And
Nice.
the neat thing about it is it doesn't use any of the data you give it to build its model. It guarantees that corporate data will be not shared anywhere. So that's why I like using it.
Oh, that explains the new tattoo on your forehead then, RetroTechie. He said, I
Yes.
am also sponsored by Microsoft.
Yeah, he's got a little Bill Gates Thug Life tattoo on his forehead now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so
Anyway, go ahead.
let's go back to this week in tech history. So January 28th, 1952, Bank of America and SRI signed a contract to develop the pilot model of ERMA, also known as Electronic Recording Machine Accounting. That's You would think electronic recording machine would deal with music, not accounting. Anyway,
I think it's
uh,
recording as in recording data.
yeah,
Not,
I
yeah,
know. Irma, I'm going to just say Irma instead of
Irma.
ERMA. Irma
Yeah.
was a computer-based system designed to process the increasing number of checks in circulation after World War II. Hmm. The contract specified that the Bank of America would pay SRI no more than 850,000 over 4 years, with an additional 25,000 for subcontracts. Although the final expenses were never released, most engineers estimate that the grand total was actually around 10 million.
So that'd be about 10 million in 1956. You said.
1952.
All right, so let's go to the inflation calculator.
Yeah, let's find out what
Talk
10
amongst
million
yourself
was.
while I.
Let's find out what 10 million was or is worth today from 1952.
So 10 million. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 1952 to today is well over $112 million in today's money.
Wow. Nice.
So it was not inexpensive.
No, definitely not. We also have on January 28th, 1986, this time, tragically, the Space Shuttle Challenger disintegrated 73 seconds after liftoff, resulting in the loss of all 7 crew members. Among them was Christina. I'm gonna totally.
She's a teacher. You
She
can
was
just
a
say
school
Christina.
teacher. Yeah,
Yeah.
Christine was a school teacher who was selected to be the first private citizen in space. The disaster had a profound impact on space exploration and computer systems used in space missions.
I watched a documentary recently on Challenger, and
Mm,
one of the two little takeaways from it. There was a lady who was second up, so like runner up in that teacher challenge. So it was teachers in space challenge that NASA did. So
okay,
the runner up, she was actually there the day of in case Christine couldn't go through with getting into the capsule. She would have went
Christina,
in.
yeah,
Christina.
Chris,
Uh, she would get this other teacher would get in the capsule instead.
right,
So talk about
yeah,
dodging a bullet, we'll say. And the other thing that I never really thought of before, but apparently it's a bit morbid, but when the unit blew up, they didn't die. They actually died from the impact of the space shuttle hitting the water.
oh
So,
wow,
yeah, they very much knew that it blew up, and they very much knew that, yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
instantaneous. Like everybody just assumed, oh well, it blew up, it's instantaneous. It wasn't.
right, yeah.
That's why they actually have. I didn't really connect the dots, but they actually had bodies to bury. I always
Hmm.
thought they would never have anything, but yeah, apparently
Yeah,
they did.
yeah. I didn't know that.
Morbid.
I remember watching it live in school. We had we were all excited because the TV got brought into the classroom.
Yeah, and like
Right?
some people are saying, and it was live. Like there was no 5
Yeah.
second buffer to turn it off.
Nope.
It blew up live. Yeah,
Yep. I was watching it live as well.
yeah,
All right. Let's try to get on a more happy note here. January
indeed.
29th, 2004. Diebold Systems, I guess is how you say that.
Diablo,
Responded Diebold. Diebold.
Diebold. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Systems responded to a report submitted to the state of Maryland revealing that their electronic voting machines, specifically the AccuVote-TS voting system, had software security flaws that could potentially compromise election outcomes. An outside consulting firm successfully hacked into the voting systems under conditions similar to an election environment. Diebold assured the public, excuse me, that there was nothing that couldn't be mitigated to ensure utmost security for upcoming elections.
So we're being told by Gutbaum it's Diebold, just so we can pronounce it properly.
Diebold. All right.
Diebold.
Right.
And I am shocked that a voting machine is hackable. My God, who would have thought?
Although I'm sure there was a former president who would have loved to have those things last election.
I believe there were several presidents who got in, who questionably got in because there were questions about the legitimacy of. But anyway, I digress. There are lots of examples of dead people voting. So Here we are. Hashtag fake news, as Retro Techie says. What's the next this day in history?
What's the next day? We have January 30th, 1925, the day Retro Techie was born.
Hey!
Douglas Engelbart, best known for inventing the mouse, was born. There we go.
There you go.
His ground, excuse me. Hold on, I'm choking to death.
See, that's Retro Techie put a hex on you.
Yeah, it really is. Sorry, the water went down the wrong way. Where was I here? Boom, boom, boom. His groundbreaking invention revolutionized human-computer interaction and remains an integral part of computer history. Another January 30th, this time 2007, Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Inc., introduced the first generation of iPhone during a keynote address. The iPhone revolutionized mobile communication by combining a phone, an iPod, and an interactive communicator into a single device.
So
I'm sorry,
I remember
my interactive communicator doesn't flip.
I remember watching
hold on,
this
I'm
live.
finished yet.
Sorry.
Just hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Its touch interface and app ecosystem transformed the smartphone industry.
So I remember watching this. I remember watching this live on BNN, Business News Network here in Canada, and I remember being floored by. I just like the showmanship. So Steve Jobs came out. He said, "A phone, a music player, a PDA," and he kept saying it over and over and over again. And then he said, "And it's all in one device." And everybody in the crowd just went ape shit, right? But the neat thing was, shortly after they did the announcement. BNN was hosting a roundtable discussion, and Steve Ballmer from Microsoft happened to be there, and they asked Steve, had you heard about this announcement? He's like, "Oh yes, that was leaked. That was leaked to Microsoft ages ago." Very hubris of Steve. Steve is full of bullshit. And he basically said, at most they're going to get is 10% of the market. Microsoft will never lose. And Microsoft takes second chair, they said, to BlackBerry, who honestly is the best in the industry, right? And so I thought it was the funniest thing in the world at the time, because I said, I don't know, I think this is going to change. And I actually went out and bought. So we didn't get the first gen in Canada. It never came to Canada,
right?
But I ordered one from Hawaii about 2 months after they came out, and it was my first I had a Palm Treo, but it was my first real smartphone. And there were no apps on the first iPhone. And they didn't have copy and paste either, which was very frustrating. But it was definitely the beginning of something. So.
All right, next on the thing, the most important day of the year, January 31st, because it's my birthday. But this predates my birthday, 1971. The Apollo 14 mission successfully landed on the moon. Astronaut Alan Shepard used a handheld computer called the Apollo Guidance Computer, AGC, to navigate and control the lunar module. This computer played a critical role in the safe landing and subsequent moonwalks. February 1st, 2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrates. Oh, sorry. This is a different one. February 1st, 2003. The Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrates during re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, resulting in the loss of all 7 crew members.
Yep.
The disaster highlighted the importance of robust software and computer system in space exploration. February 2nd, 2004. and this could cause controversy. Facebook was launched by Mark Zuckerberg and his college roommates at Harvard University.
The day the
And
world got zucked.
yeah, initially limited to Harvard students, it later expanded to other universities and eventually became the global social life-sucking platform that it is now. And finally, we're going to cover tomorrow as well because we don't stream on Saturdays. February 3rd, 1959, the tragic event known as the day music died occurred when a plane carrying musicians Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson crashed in Iowa.
Also known as the Big Bopper.
Yep, their
Sorry.
contributions to music combined continue to influence artists worldwide.
Yep. And a very important song, A Brown Eyed Girl, is based on the day the music died. Anyway.
All right. Well, isn't that a lovely note to end on?
Yes, lots of death and misery in that
Yeah,
particular
I know, right?
thing, right?
Okay, so we're
But-
not using that thing again ever to do this day in tech history because good
Hey, listen,
God.
listen. Yeah, it didn't get into any like embalming techniques, but there was some technology
Well,
in there.
it's pretty much close to it. I was waiting for like, and here's how you properly dispose of a body after you kill it.
You have been looking at my search history, haven't you? Oh my. Anyway,
I'm sorry, Frank, that you're thoroughly depressed. We'll try to perk it up. So today, we're Ryan's going to create a new channel and call it Old Ryan Rants.
and it'll be a picture of me shaking my fist at a cloud.
Right.
Yeah. So my topic this evening is quite. I mean, we're only 17 minutes in, so this is going to be quite a short. Maybe we'll just rant for a little bit.
Well, I have that
freestyle rant.
I have that topic that I can cover as well.
Oh yes, that's right. I don't know if you want to do that or I can do mine.
No, I just talked. Why don't you go?
So we all know the joke that you can basically run Doom on just about anything, right? Everybody knows that the world has tried to run Doom on just about every possible device, platform, thing, whatever you can get Doom on, people have tried. So here's an interesting story out of MIT. In a remarkable scientific feat, MIT biologist and PhD student researcher Lauren Ramlin managed to run Doom on gut bacteria. So I'll just lay out on gut bacteria found in one's gut, probably in gut bombs.
Sorry, I
probably
didn't know
in gut bombs. Gut.
I wasn't sure if you said gut or gum, so that's
gut.
why I was a little gut bacteria.
Yeah. So yeah, like gut bacteria. So here's how it works. So Ramlin created a 32 by 48 1 bit. So 1 bit. You'll be very excited about this if you're in the chat. Display made of E. coli cells. Each E. coli cell was effectively served as an individual pixel by lighting up when required using a fluorescent protein. Instead of running Doom directly on the cells, which would be obviously an monumental task, they used it just as like a display. So they turned a bunch of gut bacteria into a display. So she rendered the gameplay by illuminating specific E. coli cells one at a time. To display one frame of the simplified black and white gameplay at a resolution of 32 by 48 pixels, it took 70 minutes to illuminate. When no longer needed, it took 8 hours and 20 minutes for the cells to return to their normal state. In other words, each individual frame of gameplay took around 8 hours and a half to display.
Wow.
So you would be playing Doom a very long time before you actually got the first level finished. It's very cool. So it got me thinking, like, what are some of the other crazy things that, we've gotten Doom to run on? And I see something like Gut Bomb said a pregnancy test. I remember that was a couple of months ago. Somebody got on a clear blue accuracy pregnancy test, one of the the reusable pregnancy tests that have a color display. They got Doom to run. Because of course they did.
I like Frank's comment here. See what happens when you get Big Bad Biologist and Gut Bomb together?
Yes, and the power of MIT with their budget. You get
Right?
Doom on gut bacteria. Nobody asked for it, but here we are.
So Tech Ambrosia, since you're in the chat, when are you streaming this? I want to see you stream this. Let's
Playing
test.
Doom on gut bacteria.
Yes,
I agree. I
yes.
agree. It needs to be a stream. And so then it got me thinking, what other things have run Doom in the past? Well, I remember when I was a kid, I ran Doom on my TI-83 graphing calculator. We had Doom running in black and white. It was terrible, but it was a fairly straightforward process. It wasn't a lot of hacking to get it to do. But then it got me thinking, what other things could be hacked to run Doom? Well,
you know what? You know what could be. You know what should be hacked.
What?
You need to go find out about those bowling
Yes, the
bowling
bowling
alley.
machines.
Yeah.
And see if we'll pop a picture of those up shortly so people can see what we're talking about. However, digital cameras. Apparently, early Hewlett Packard and Kodak digital cameras. You can jailbreak them somehow, and you can run Doom on them. Old Nokia phones, so like mid 2000s Nokia phones, they run Doom.
Okay, so this is an idea for one of Justin's stream.
Justin, to get a tie-in for Justin. Yeah, I like that.
Right? Yeah. The Trident gum bacteria. Loving this. Loving this idea.
That's awesome. We're just throwing out ideas. We need that board with like pins and like get red like yarn to attach it all. Like everything's sunny in Philadelphia.
But no. That was all that was used for was which girl slept with what girl and who dated who from the L Word.
Correct. But that's fine.
Yes.
We can modify that. If we can modify a gut bacteria, we can modify that whiteboard. So what are some of the other things? Here's one of the interesting ones I never really thought of, but a SanDisk Sansa clip zip. So one of those like small, they told like 40 megs of data.
Yeah.
They had a little LED screen on them. They're like an MP3 player made by SanDisk at one point.
Okay.
Apparently it runs Doom. Here's one that I'm not surprised about. Doom on Zune. So Microsoft Zune is capable of playing Doom, which makes total sense. Most Hewlett-Packard printers can be hacked to run Doom on their colored screens. Lego bricks.
Curtis suggested, he said, I'm waiting for Doom to run on an Etch-a-Sketch drawn by hand.
I feel as though that might be faster than gut bacteria at this point.
And yes, lesbian polycues are complicated.
Correct.
Know all about them.
Correct. Lego bricks. Apparently, you can run Doom on a bunch of the Lego, platforms, the different Lego screens and whatnot.
Okay, I was going to say, because back in my day, Lego was just Lego bricks, and I'm like,
Well, the other one that I found really interesting was another person did a theoretical how many hermit crabs would it, or not hermit crabs, some form of crab would it take to run Doom. So they actually build logic gates out of like 4 separate crabs.
I remember you mentioning this before. Yeah.
And then it was like 16 trillion crabs could be used to run Doom, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like that's pretty neat.
RetroTechie once ran Doom on an abacus.
Well, he is old enough to have known to use one, so there we go.
This is
right.
It.
Yeah. And then of course there's the official. I always thought nobody, I remember it coming out when I was a child, but like on the Super Nintendo, I never thought Super Nintendo would have Doom, but it got it, and it's a pretty decent port. It's not great. There are a lot of terrible ports of Doom. I wouldn't say the SNES is the worst. It's definitely not the best, but it was playable. So it's really interesting to see what Tech Ambrosia. I'm old enough to feel Lego Tech. I remember when Lego Mindstorm used a serial connector. But that was before USB and came on a floppy disk.
See, but
in
Gutbomb,
1996.
To be fair, back in my day,
Lego,
like the Lego kits I got for Christmas were just literally blocks and these green kind of larger squares that you would build houses or whatever on. And that was it. That's all I had. If we wanted to go with that stuff, it was the metal stuff, Kinects, I think it was called, or something, that had all the robotic stuff.
The mechanics.
That's it.
Yeah. erector sets or mechanic sets, one of the two. Yeah. Tech Ambrosia says, "Oh my God, it's all Bluetooth now, isn't it?" I said, "Actually, technically, Mindstorm and Tech is gone. Lego's given up on it. It's just part of the normal Lego offering now. It's not even its own separate thing, and there is no
mechanics.
mechanics. There's no Lego. There's no Lego in Classroom anymore. There's no. They stopped it about a year ago, I want to say, or maybe 2 years ago. They stopped providing stuff for teachers. There's still legacy stuff, so if you already have the sets in your class, you can still use them. But there's no like active development to bring it into the future. It's sad because it was a thoroughly enjoyable, bridge between the digital and the physical world. So I'm kind of sad that Lego went that route, but I'm sure it was some cost-saving measure because at the end of the day, it's not the engineers that make the decisions; it's the CPAs, it's the accountants. So anyway, so yeah, that's kind of cool. I saw that this week, in a couple of different tech outlets were discussing the playing of Doom on gut bacteria, and I thought, you know what, that's pretty cool. So now I've challenged myself to try to figure out if I can play Doom on something really weird.
All right, so
I
show
know
show that picture of what you were looking at tonight.
Oh yeah, I downloaded it.
Weird.
I think I downloaded it. Hold on, just bear with me here a second. Talks amongst yourselves. Hi
Trina. Hi Trina. How are you? I'm doing good, thanks. I can talk to Opie, but she's asleep now.
Funny.
I'm cloning the old Lego cart and interface device for the Lego logo classroom kits. Oh, okay. It'll work on that. Cool.
All right, so apparently I put it on the desktop, so that's where it is. Hold on, let me
Mm-hmm.
add to OBS here real quick.
Yeah, you do you.
Brunswick. So a friend of mine sent me this picture earlier this week. He works he's a bowling alley employee, and he says, we have gotten new bowling equipment. And he said all of these are possibly up for grabs. So I'm not sure if they're actually for sale, but he's going to check it out for me. And I can't understand why I would need one, but at the same time, I'm like, I definitely need one. And I get some real.
I'm in the same boat with you. I don't need one, but I want one at the same time.
Yeah. So in my mind, what this would be really good for is if I build out the little ledge there where you would just kind of put your drinks, put a nice game controller, some sort of arcade game controller, and do a 2-person arcade setup.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Right. The only problem is that the monitors are 100% green monochrome. So the monitors themselves are kind of useless. But I'm not 100% sure what I would use them for, because they're also really heavy. They're like 400 pounds. So I don't know. At the same time, I'm like, well, I really want one, but where am I going to put it? What am I going to do with it? So I'm not sure. But like Eric Edge pointed out earlier, I could have my own like 1970s futuristic sci-fi interface, right? It could just be a weird piece in my house that just does weird Star Trek stuff, right? Like I could just make it.
And it's what Frank said. You have to have one. It's a calling to you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Depending on how much they are. I mean, if the owner wants stupid money for them, I'm obviously not going to take one. But if someone's like, "Hey, you can have one for free," just bring a truck. Well, I'll be like, okay, if I get a free one, maybe.
Oh, anyway. Free one. You free one. You'd be stupid enough not to say. You'd be stupid to say no.
Yeah.
I could rebuild the original NASA building with those, according to Curtis.
Yeah, they're. I think they're pretty stout. Or are you referring to you could make like the kiosk unit or the workstation unit that was in the launch center at NASA? I was thinking I'd recreate some sort of like war game style. Like I'd maybe run the war game simulator on it constantly, where it's just playing tic-tac-toe or global thermonuclear war, where yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, Curtis said what Ryan said.
Okay, so yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And then I'm thinking, for like rentals to movie props. Not that they're filming 1970s retro movies here very often, but it could be a cool. Like if they ever decide to film a Star Trek series here or Star Wars series here, Star Wars traditionally always uses, like what's over my shoulder here. The last was it Boba Fett or the Mandalorian? One of them had a Commodore 64 built into a kiosk. And it was just being used for the keyboard.
Bowling Strike
Do you remember
animations
this show?
A couple. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so the bowling alley these came out of had like a retrofitted system where it was newer LCD screens on the wall that would show like the dancing turkey, and like the when you get a spare, it'd be like, shucks, and it'd be a weird like GIF animation.
Yeah.
But it used the Brunswick 2000 computer input device from like 1972. So, I think what they've replaced it with, like, honestly, you could replace the whole gosh darn thing with an iPad mounted on a stand at this
Pretty
point.
much, yeah.
Right? Like, there's no reason to have a dedicated kiosk. Hell, you could even have an app that people just use their phone to be like, I'm logged in. Yep, I got a strike. Right? But the machine knows, too, which is kind of funny.
Oh, no, I don't remember the ones
I don't remember. So you'll have to share that in the after party.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, enough about bowling machines and 1970s futuristic retro vintage technology in movies. Trina, what is the other thing that you wish to discuss this evening?
Let's have a Trina rant for a bit. So, you just shelled out $3,500+ for your piece of crap Vision Pro.
I wouldn't, but okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That basically does nothing more than what, from what I've seen, pretty much what every other headset does, except for it connects to an Apple. Oh.
Yeah, you could probably get an Oculus or whatever Meta's touting now for about $300 or $600. Get 90% of the same capacity.
Exactly. So here is a warning for you crazy people with $3,500. We're looking at you squarely, Garth, at this point.
Maybe some sort of librarian that might be Macintosh based.
Oh, did she buy one as well?
I think so, yeah. I think she said she did.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Kate. But if you buy a shiny new Vision Pro, be extra careful not to lose it. Because unlike the iPhone and pretty much every other Apple device that's out there, the headsets lack Find My Location tracking. Seriously? After dumping $3,500, it doesn't have it?
I have a question.
In a new support document, Apple has confirmed that in Apple Vision Pro location cannot be viewed in the Find My app on another Apple device or iCloud.com.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So imagine, if you will, a small circular device that you attach to something.
Oh, we're going to get to Hey, we're getting to that.
I don't know. Tell you where things are.
I realize that, but I mean, come on, $3,500 and it doesn't have this built in.
I know, but a bit of epoxy.
Air tags.
Yeah, a bit of epoxy and a nice 3D printed unit.
Oh, I totally agree. But that now means I have to shell out more money.
Oh, I know. No, it should just be built in. Like, if they're not going to do Find My iPhone built in, they should at least just have a friggin' air tag in there. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, carry on.
Of the Find My Family features, the only one that the Vision Pro supports is a whole activation lock, which ensures that a thief cannot erase or freshly set up the headset. Like, what the fuck?
Means they can still take it apart and use its bits to fix other ones. Like, it can still be a parts bin. Right? Unless Apple's gone the same way they've done with the new MacBooks, which is like everything is serialized so that no parts can interchange.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, so just all I'm saying is, because Apple's also like trying to promote it, like using these things on airplanes and other places outside of the house, which
means they're going to get stolen.
Great. They're either going to get stolen or somebody's going to sit one down
and walk away,
board the plane, and then realize after the plane takes off, oh shit, I left that on the seat in the waiting room.
I know when I'm heading to Chicago in September for VCF Midwest, I'm going to make sure that mine is duct taped to my face permanently.
Are you buying a Vision Pro?
Do I look like I can afford a Vision Pro? Look what I'm surrounded by.
Yes.
The power bill alone to run that CRT. Where is it? That one.
Hold on,
That's
I
a
can't
Vision
see it
Pro.
because I'm looking at the.
Oh. But like Gutbaum points out, actually does. The Vision Pro does a lot less than other headsets too. They have no apps. You can't run Netflix on it. You can't run Disney Plus. So like the whole idea of, I don't know, using it as a home theater is like, well, that'd be great, but I can't use it because Netflix doesn't want to do an app for it. Disney Plus doesn't want to do an app for it.
So needless to say, Apple won't be contacting me to do a promo. I haven't been a fan of these things since they were announced.
No.
I'm still not a fan. But yeah, so yeah, it's funny how they're like promoting it. Like the one photo that they have here on the article is actually somebody on a plane, and look about as ridiculous as like a Star Wars robot.
I've been looking at the memes the last couple of days that have come out. And it's like the ad shows you, like, you can see the other person's eyes, like it does a really good replication of the person's eyes, and then it shows like real life. In real life, it shows like these blue eyes that are like not what the person has, and they look really cartoonish. And it definitely it's a first gen product from Apple, which we all should realize is not necessarily what you want to buy.
Well, but you would think by now, like, Find My Device would be just included with it. It's not like that's
I'm
a
sure.
new
Again, I'm going to go out.
option.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say the engineers wanted to include it. The accountants said no.
Oh, there was something about. Hold on, there was something. Why? Do do do. When you yeah, with activation lock, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. Activation lock for my headset. Yeah, great. But you can't play a sound to help find it. Turn on lost mode. Do do do. Sorry, I'm just scanning the article. Talk amongst yourselves. It said something about a battery. That's why they didn't use the. Couldn't include the air tags.
Well, it's got a.
Oh, there we go. It's
battery pack.
unclear why the Vision Pro does not support Find My location tracking, but the headset lacking a built-in battery and GPS could be contributing factors.
Right, but it should have a built-in AirTag then. The
Yeah.
AirTag doesn't require anything.
Okay,
It's
fair
got
enough.
a little
Yeah.
battery in it, right?
But yeah,
or if it doesn't have it, it should at least have a spot where you can put one in and permanently,
Right.
or have it locked in such a way that it's difficult to get out.
Yeah, one option,
Right.
obviously, for tracking the location of your Vision Pro is to purchase Apple's travel case and place an AirTag in it. So not only do you have to purchase the AirTag, you also have to
$300
purchase a
or
travel
$400
case.
travel case is like stupid expensive too.
How much is the Apple case? Hold on, I want to
think
find
it's.
it.
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
Travel case. Okay, let's see if I can find it on the Apple site. Should be.
It's $199 US.
Jeez. So that's going to be like $400 Canadian.
Yeah. Or, because they're being nice, it's $16 a month for 12 months on approved credit with 3% interest.
Oh my. I want
like
a
Gutbaum
holodeck
says,
too.
and like Gutbaum says, then you're the only one who knows where the case is, because it doesn't mean the Vision Pro is in the case. It's just you know where the case is.
Yeah. So that when the person breaks into your house, because they were able
if they're
to
either a bit tech savvy, they're going to be like, all right, take it out of the case, leave the case at the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I found my device. It's here. It's here on the. Oh, right. It's empty.
So just to touch base real quick on who was it? Frank S said, "I really want a holodeck." I actually watched a video this week. I want
one of those as well.
Yeah, I watched a video this week about a rolling floor. So it's this new thing that a VR startup has done, and it's this like it's hard to explain. It's like these little tiny micro rollers on a floor, and it moves depending on where you're walking on this giant pad. And it's able to give you the illusion of walking great distances without actually walking great distances, like without traveling great distances. You do walk the great distance because the floor is able to lock and unlock the rollers in to give you the feeling of you've walked, and to give you a feeling of what surface you're walking on. So like a slippery surface, they'll open all the rollers up and you'll slip around. A more sticky surface, it'll be a bit more like stiff. So it was actually pretty cool. Yeah, the omnidirectional treadmill. There you go. Tech Ambrosia said, yeah, I watched a video on them this week. There's some pretty cool tech coming out. So that's where I vision, holodeck technology going. So,
And by the way, hi, Eric's Edge.
hi, Eric. Eric, just check over my left shoulder and see if you can guess the movie that's playing on the CRT.
Here, let's
I'll
make you
give you
big.
time.
So we'll make you big
Yeah,
so it helps a little bit.
Anyway.
Do. Oh, and so I don't know if it was on the stream or post stream that you showed off that lovely 27-inch iMac from the cigar smoker's house. Yeah, that thing.
Silent running. He got it.
Woohoo! I think, as I said in the chat, I think I saw that one. I didn't see the other one. I have downloaded both of them, so I'm going to be watching them some point over the weekend. But I have to work on a rare vintage MacBook Air 2015 tomorrow.
Vintage.
Vintage and rare.
And rare. Hashtag rare. Hashtag I know what I have. Steve Jobs. Rare, rare, rare.
Right. But you were saying you got the Bluetooth working in that, or just
it started to work again, so I'm not going to chalk that up to being usable. I'm going to say
Okay.
there's definitely something wrong with it. It needs to be taken apart. I took the glass off and took the screen out. It's like, you remember at the end of The Shining when they had all the snow everywhere the next morning and everything was covered in snow? That's what the inside looks like, but it's covered with nicotine dust.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to take the screen out. I got to disconnect the screen, pull the hard drive, vacuum everything out, clean everything down
Put an
as best I can.
SSD in it while you're at it. You might as well.
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, I still have a 13, 14-year-old iMac 27-inch. So what's going to happen to it is I'm not even going to put an SSD in. I'm going to take anything out of it that's damaging, ability to damage, and it's going to go into long-term storage so that in 20 years I can be like, hey, I have one of those in storage, and just go get it.
Okay, then.
Preemptive retro, I call it.
Preemptive retro.
Yeah.
And it's got a lovely patina to it, so
it's the aluminum is actually yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make aluminum yellow. And not like, oh, it's on the surface. I mean, it's yellow.
Yeah.
When you wipe it, you clean it, it's still yellow.
Oh, nasty. So you can retrobrite it then.
I don't expect you can.
No, I know.
Maybe,
I'm being
but
facetious. I don't know.
I know.
We need Javier in the chat to go. Yes, you can retrobrite aluminum.
I don't think you can retrobrite aluminum. I don't think that's how it works.
You can either. I mean, you could paint it.
I could, or I could just leave it like it is and call it done. Excuse me.
It's. I don't know if it's on the YouTube end, but at least here in StreamYard, you are locked up.
Yeah, I am. It's my Chrome browser decided to eat all the resources and lock up. So
okay,
I'll just keep talking until it unlocks
you.
itself.
Yeah,
that's fine. Okay. It'll figure itself out eventually.
So yeah, interesting that you can't use Find My Device for those things.
Seems like a bit of a misstep, but it's very similar to when Apple first came out with the iPhone, the first gen iPhone. It didn't have 3G internet capabilities. It was all 2G. And the tech was there to go 3G. There was nothing stopping them other than cost. And I would imagine they developed the board several years previous and didn't want to have to go redesign it for a new radio. So I think it's just one of those things. They're going to, like, the tech bros are going to buy the first gen.
And hi, my name's Trina of Trina's Technobabble. Welcome to my stream. Apparently I'm the last. We're just gonna wait till Ryan comes back. Hi, Joe. Welcome. So Frank's little one is having teething issues tonight, so he asked if we could take over, which, you know me, I take over any stream that I'm on. So, hi. And then we've been having issues with Ryan. I also forgot to hit the go live button tonight, so it's a great stream. But here we are. So yeah. Aw. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow or not. Somebody at work had a personal laptop. It's a MacBook Air 2015. It's running Mac OS 10.12 for some stupid reason. It will not allow it to upgrade to Big Sur. She needs to get to a newer OS so she can use Citrix. So we had a little powwow off to the side, away from the help desk, and it magically ended up at my apartment so I can install Mac OS 12 for her. And yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to bother live streaming it or just do it because it's not really all that exciting. I mean, I got to save her data and then reformat. Trina's Techno Conquer. I like that. That's good. I run whiskey on my gums. I'm good now. Oh, wait. Yeah, wrong Frank. It's the other Frank, Frank S. Well, I think I'm going to call it a stream. My cohort doesn't seem to be respond to or be returning. So you have a video card to fix. Ooh, okay. Gutbomb, message me on Discord. We'll talk. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining my stream. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And if you can, I am trying to save some money to get to VCF Midwest this September. Feel free if you can afford it. There is no obligation, and I understand if you can't. But make a donation at my coffee account, which is coffee, which is actually ko-fi.com/Trina's Technobabble. And hey, Steve. Wow, it's funny. I get on myself and oh, we also have Fred here in the chat. Hi. Um, yeah. I don't know if I can do Monterey on 2015 though. Oh, Ryan's back.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I decided to lock up when Chrome did, and then Discord and Teams decided to fight over who had ownership of my webcam. So
Mm.
happy to
Yeah.
report.
Oh, yeah. So Monterey is OS 12. That's why. Yeah. Big Sur is 11. Yeah. Yeah. So Monterey. Yeah. Monterey is supported. Yeah. On that model. Exactly. So I
So
just
what
did
did I
the
miss?
outro. Well, I just did the outro.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't know if you're coming back. I thanked everybody for coming to Trina's Technobabble stream. Well, you weren't here at the time.
Oh, I see how it is.
And Joe said after you left, it got 50% better. So
Thanks, Joe. I even have your saint right here. This is your look. Saint Joseph. Look, he's here. And now I'm going to turn him around. He's turned back on. There we go.
Oh, Steve is going to be doing a stream this evening.
Oh, is he?
He found a Quadra board, so I'll be streaming that sometime this evening.
How's that 850 working out for you, Steve?
And hi, Mark Nicholas. Is that?
Oh, Mark is one of my local RetroTech guys.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell your local RetroTech guys that he's late to the stream.
You're late, Mark. Were you working at the bowling alley? He's
Oh, is this the bowling
connection.
alley guy?
He is, yeah. Oh, it's an 840. It's 840 AV. Sorry, my joke fell flat. How's that 840 AV, Steve? There we go. If you're gonna make fun, get the number right.
Get the number right. Mark, so we were actually discussing what to do with those bowling alley consoles.
I agree. We need.
Any word on those? Because we're all like telling Ryan to pick them all up. So if he takes them all,
of them. Jesus.
If he takes them all, if he takes
just so anybody who came late knows what we're talking about, it's these things.
Oh yeah, here I'll make it big. Boom. So if he takes them all, Mark, can he get them for free?
He's going to check with the owner.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why I need one, but
But not only does he need one, he needs to fill the. Look at the space. Move over to the side a bit. Ryan, move over to one side. See all the space he has? Look, he can fit them all in his garage. No reason not to.
No, I can't. No, I can't. Because then it means my poor Volkswagen boss is left outside, and I can't do any work on any of my cars. I mean,
That's
it's
okay.
it's the middle of winter, and you know what it's like. It's cold here, and anyway, I
See, there you go. Set up a teaching lab for mainframe programming.
Look how cold he is. Look at him. He's so cold. If you're cold, they're cold.
Bring in the cars. But I like Eric's Edge comment. Set up a teaching lab for mainframe programming.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up to do old IBM mainframes, because all the programmers and people who know how to work on them are dying. So we'll just get them to. I'll start a school just to teach that.
I mean, you can invite Curtis. He's old enough to know that stuff.
He is. It's true. Well, I invite Retro Techie. I mean, he was there when the first IBM was unboxed in 1877 or whatever
right?
it was.
1877.
Yeah, with the first catch machine. Right?
It's like that Back to the Future 3 photo with like Marty.
Yeah.
Holding onto the
clock. That was Retro Techie's high school photo. They just invented flash photography. They didn't have to be outside in the daytime to get a photo. Hey,
One Bit.
What a world.
I love One Bit's idea. Cobol Youth Workshop.
There you go. Jeremy says just set the bowling things outside under a tarp. It'll be fine. Oh,
under 10 tarp. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
There we go. Curtis Boyle. I did work on a deck VAX.
VAX, yeah.
11/78 in university.
That's the kind of stuff you find in the big iron room at VCF Midwest.
Now, is that the stuff you had to crank by hand to get it going? Like the cars back then, Curtis?
It's not that old, no. It didn't have a monitor, I don't think. And it ran on, I would imagine, some sort of weird tape sort of storage ribbon thing.
Eric said, I learned to program pen plotter on the same device system, or on the same system.
Interesting. With a smallish computer, yeah. If anybody hasn't watched yet, I'm not into the big iron stuff, but I thoroughly enjoy Usagi Electric's videos. I think his name is David or Dave. He makes some fantastic videos working with a bunch of older big iron stuff and getting it working. I find it fascinating, just sort of the handmade memory with like wires ran and it's just amazing stuff that David is his name, yeah. Fantastic channel. Highly recommend you go out and subscribe. And he seems like a generally nice guy, and he has rabbits. So I mean, not all evil people like Steve have rabbits. Some nice people have rabbits too. So there's that.
Evil people.
Have you ever seen Evil Steve? It's regular Steve. He's shaved completely smooth, but he has a little goatee like Evil Spock.
The little like arrow type idea.
Yeah. Evil Steve.
And he has his agonizer.
Correct.
Yes. Actually,
they're the same. Just to answer Eric's question, they're the rabbits from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Same rabbits.
Okay.
Yeah, they're vicious.
It wasn't Spock, because Spock asked the transporter, Mr. Kyle, your agonizer, please.
Correct.
Yes. And how many episodes was Mr. Kyle in? And it wasn't just the one.
4.
I think it was 3 or 4. Yeah. I'm just.
I know very little about Star Trek. The first.
It's interesting because
but I have watched it all.
He came up on the Star Trek subreddit. Somebody was like, "Let's talk about Mr. Kyle," and there was an actual link to how many episodes was Mr. Kyle actually by name featured in. And I think it was 3, and then maybe 4 without. Like there was an episode where he just was red shirt.
Yeah. And you were like, "Oh, he's gonna die," but then he didn't. And he showed up in like 3 more episodes.
Yeah. He came. Well, it's because he didn't go on away missions. He transported the red shirts to die, but he himself stayed behind.
What was the Family Guy said? I need Bones, I need Spock, and I need Ensign Ricky. And you knew Ensign Ricky wasn't coming back because he didn't have a last name.
Right. So just a question. The Dave Lovett person.
Yeah.
I see Retrotech Chris said he enjoyed talking to him at VCF Southwest. Does he also go to Midwest? Maybe
He was
Retrotech
there
Chris
last
might
year, I
know.
believe. I believe he was. I could be wrong.
Because I know Chris said Southwest, but not Midwest. So 2 different locations. Oh, he was not, according to Eric.
Okay. The video I watched, he must have been at Southwest.
Yeah, it was probably Southwest. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think he's on the West Coast somewhere.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But thoroughly enjoy his stuff. Highly recommend his videos. Even if you're not into the old iron stuff, just getting a knowledge and a background in the history that's enjoyable to watch, and it's not just some old fart rambling on about, back in my day we used this Vax machine and it was good, but we had this thing. It's not like that. He's very entertaining and very, very knowledgeable, but also very hands-on. Explains how things work, and
Nice.
it's a great resource and great YouTube channel. He's in Texas. Okay, well there you go. He's sort of central.
That makes sense. Yeah.
He guessed it on Vintage Geek. Yeah, because Vintage Geek had a it was spare Eagle. Was it a spare Eagle drive? I think that they needed to get help working, and they had the same setup that he has that he's currently working on. So he went and helped them figure out what was wrong with it, or took it back and sorted it out for them.
And speaking of sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say also, if you're not subscribed to Vintage Geek, I also highly recommend their channel. Great channel.
Also, speaking of VCF events, this month will be VCF SoCal. This is the first event for them. We had them on a guest, both the Vent Nerd and Mrs. Vent Nerd. I received stickers for VCF SoCal and the Vent Nerd as well. So
awesome!
Huge thank you goes out to them. Yeah, their event takes place the 17th and 18th of this month. So it's some holiday in the States. I don't know.
When this month? It's family. Yeah, it's Family Day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Family Day here in Canada.
Yeah. But well, actually, we don't have it in Newfoundland, but my school recognizes it as a holiday, even though we don't have it as a statutory holiday here.
We have it as a stat holiday here in Ontario. So,
yeah,
as I found out.
No, VCF West is not SoCal. They are two different.
No. VCF events. SoCal is being headed up. This will be the first year for it, and is if you go back, Jeremy, and watch the Retro Repair Roundup, the last episode that we just filmed 2 weeks ago, I think.
Which brings the question: who's on this week?
I gotta check with Javier because he was looking after the guest for this one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can only imagine who you're going to get as a guest. Just Javier with a mustache.
But Javier has a goatee, so he alrea's got the. Hold on for a sec. Let me go.
It's just it's a fake mustache on top of his real mustache.
Let me see.
Joe says I have no idea. So
yeah, I know. Joe never knows what's going on. Don't even listen to Joe. Stephanie. Al. I don't know how to say the last name. But yeah, he was in contact with her.
Okay, I was gonna say because Usagi Electric might be a good host guest at some point if you can get him
confirmed or has run out of possible guests.
Joe knows things except who's the next guest is.
Yeah.
But Joe, how many lights are there, Joe? How many lights? We'll find out.
Yeah. Technically, Miss Vintner is the showrunner. I'm just saying both of them are because they're both. They're married to each other, for God's sakes. So
there are 4 lights. Joe is correct. Joe knows that. Joe knows things.
Yeah. So anyway, Yeah, so they had contacted me. Actually, he contacted me afterwards and said, "What's your mailing address? I'd like to send you some stickers." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So I gave my mailing address, and then they arrived they arrived Monday, but I came through the back door of my apartment on Monday because I had got a box and didn't feel like
You did
lugging
what?
around.
Sorry,
I got
you
a
did what?
box.
No. Before that,
I came in the back door. Yes, take that as you will. I have a front and back.
low hanging fruit. What do I do
I
here?
I
Joe,
have
help me! What do I
I
do?
I have both a front and a back door in my apartment. So so anyway, so I didn't see the mail until because the mail goes in the front door, and I came in the back door. So I didn't. We may have to find a replacement house for next week because I think Ryan's gonna die of laughing in between.
Oh.
So I didn't see it until I left through the front door to go to work on Tuesday morning. Yeah, the show is past 1 hour, so we're good. Anyway, so yeah, so I sent them a lovely message. No, the mail comes in the front door, and it's MAIL. And this
I
is
haven't laughed like this since I was a little girl.
and this is the stream that we killed Ryan on from laughter. Hi, Rudy.
Hey, Rudy.
You're missing all the fun.
Rudy's currently working on my Commodore PET motherboard, so he's not allowed to actually go do anything else but work on that. And so I only allow him to join.
But I don't think Rudy actually does anything besides work his day job.
No, he does. He apparently, and Rudy, correct me if I'm wrong. My Commodore PET board is like 83% functional now, which is 83% more functional than it was when I sent it to him.
Nice.
So
very good. Yeah, I totally broke
See,
Ryan. I like that Curtis Trina broke Ryan. It's booting it. It's booting up, by the way, according to Rudy. So
okay, so does it boots to basic now? That's exciting. I think actually maybe you told me that. Either way, it's very exciting. I'm excited to have a pet again that works.
I'd be excited to have a pet that. Yes, not that kind of pet. Okay, on with the show.
Opie, your cat just looks at you like, what? I'm functional.
Oh yeah, you're fine. I just don't put a dog collar and leash on you, and parade you around the streets.
Oh, is that so, computer? You're gonna fall down, are you? Interesting.
Boots, but no cursor, according to Rudy. So
okay. So.
And Rudy, RetroTech Chris wants to know, how does the pet enter?
The pet is mailed. So it goes through
I think he meant between the front and the back door.
Oh, no, it comes down the chimney.
Mm.
It does a sweeping of the chimney on its way in.
No, but we were joking because we've run out of topics and we've passed the hour mark, so we're kind of off the rails at this point. But once again, I will repeat what I said while Ryan was rebooting the computer.
Only from 9 to 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right. I will repeat what I said before. Thank you, everyone,
Mark,
for.
You know what you can do. Anyway, continue. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening on the Old World Tech Fridays and Inappropriate Hour with Ryan and Trina. Next week, we hope to have Frank back to keep us somewhat in line.
No! This is more fun. We can just keep Frank out all the time.
No. I miss Frank's input and ability to keep us on task. He's a good taskmaster.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So if you guys haven't already punched the like button, please do that. If you haven't drop kicked the subscribe button, do that. And as always,
Ryan,
you can body slam the bell.
do you have a like a coffee account or Patreon or anything?
No, I don't do any of that.
No. Okay. Good enough. Okay.
I make my money through my works of labor, and
Okay.
I mean I could have those things. I couldn't be bothered at this point, but maybe
Okay.
someday. Hey, who knows?
Fair enough.
Um,
Right.
if you want to buy things for your retro computer, head on over to jcm-1.com for all of your retro tech computer needs. Whether it's your Blue SCSI for your Macintosh compacts, like this guy right here, who had a hyperdrive and is now getting a Blue SCSI.
And
Or
also your Macintosh laptops, because there is the
yeah,
laptop version available.
yes,
So
there is a laptop version available. In fact, I imagine Trina will be shipping me a PowerBook 150
yeah,
soon.
PowerBook 150. I'm hoping Monday or Tuesday
Perfect.
this coming week.
So the nice thing about Trina is when she promised to ship you stuff, she actually ships it. It's a funny thing in the retro community that unfortunately some people don't actually get to experience.
And I would have been shipping it tomorrow, but I literally, with everything that was going on today, had maybe 20 minutes for lunch. And yeah, so I didn't
Fair
get
enough.
I didn't get a chance to get to the UPS store because there's no UPS store near me to buy
You're
blah, blah,
forgiven.
So,
Anyway, thanks guys for joining us, and we'll be in the after chat in
on Discord
Discord. So if you need directions, reach out to me.
until Steve streams, which I still haven't got a
Yes,
notification for. So
Steve's weird. Steve's streams are weird. It's like he streams, but then like 15 minutes after he starts, I get a notification.
mm.
It's YouTube is a weird, fickle beast.
But yes,
Anyway,
Steve
good
is
night,
up
everybody.
next. Have a good night.
See you all next week. Take care. Be good. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice.